A new leak just showed the Logitech G Pro Superlight 2C. This is the mini version of the G Pro Superlight, and something a lot of people have been waiting on, but there's something crazy about it, and I just wanted to talk about it. So if you guys don't know, the G Pro Superlight 2C just got leaked over on Reddit. There's a couple of images of the specs of it. We should be expecting something similar to a G Pro Superlight 2, which is the Hero 2 sensor alongside a very low weight, the same optical clicks, and the same light speed scroll wheel. So nothing's gonna feel too different on the mouse, apart from the fact that it's $170. And that's where they've lost me. As you guys know, the Superlight's been around for like a decade at this point. If you haven't tried a Superlight, that's your fault. No spoilers, I guess. But it's a fairly safe shape. You are getting really nice palm contact. It's good for palm, it's good for fingertip if you have larger hands, and it's good for claw. It is probably like the default mouse. If you think of a mouse for gaming, it's probably a Superlight. And they've had a long time to build up this reputation, and they're kind of like the name brand. But something a lot of people have been wanting with smaller hands is a lot of people really want just a smaller G Pro Superlight, and they just didn't care. It's just like Razer, who never released a proper Viper Mini wireless at a reasonable price. And no, the Cobra doesn't count, Razer. It's not the same thing. You know it's not the same thing. People have been asking a long time for this mouse. So for Logitech to finally actually be doing it, great. Good on them. I am very happy. But the Superlight Mini's been out a million times. Like the M-Chose A5, I believe it was, that was a Superlight Mini. I think Incot had a Superlight Mini. I've reviewed like 3 Superlight Minis. So it's not something that is going to be completely new to the market, but it is really nice you can get an official one from Logitech. It's just the 170 is a really, really, really steep price. That is a price tag that kind of prices some people out. Some people can barely afford a mice like the Crazylight, which in my opinion is a better version of the Superlight in every single way. You're getting better palm contact for claw, you're getting nice flat sides, and it's decently. I love the Crazylight. This mouse is like $100 to $120. I forget the exact pricing of it, but you can get these pretty cheap online used. This is all people can afford. Some people can barely afford this, which is why mice like the M-Chose L7 exists. It is just a cheaper version of this. So this mouse being at $170 kind of prices poorer gamers out of the market completely, or waiting a year or two to finally get their hands on an official Logitech version that's been well used. So that sucks. But why is the price so high? The cost of material should be the exact same as the original Superlight and the Superlight 2 and the Superlight 2 SE. I can think of 2 reasons. The first one is that it is technically a nicher mouse. As you guys know, Logitech only makes large mice. Like, I think the only small mouse they have is that one G709, 705, the mouse for her they released for like women and people. But that's the only thing I can think of, is that because it's not their traditional incredibly large for big hands mouse, because, you know, men have big hands, muscles. In their eyes, it's probably a more niche market, and they would have priced it up to compensate for the fact that they may not sell as many, which Logitech, you're gonna sell a lot of these. This is a very requested mouse. Or, don't click off. Or it could just be tariffs being baked into the price.
I hate this channel.
No! Now, I don't care what your political leaning is. I literally go against talking about it publicly at all, because it doesn't matter. We are in a peripheral hobby. We are here for gaming. Keep all your takes to yourself. I don't care, truly. But despite what your take is on tariffs and whatnot, they are a thing that's happening that is affecting pretty much everyone in America. And this mouse seems to be priced similarly to how other companies are pricing their mice, compared to how other brands are pricing their products. Like Nikon, one of my favorite camera brands, just raised all the prices on everything, making the camera I'm shooting on now closer to $3,000, and making the camera that's sitting behind me closer to $1,000. And it sucks, because these cameras are great, but once you're spending that much money on either one of them, you can get better things. And it's the same thing in the mouse space. At $170, you are putting yourself against some of the best performers on the market. And that's not to say the G Pro Superlight 2 is a bad performer, but the OP1 8K exists, the OP1 4K exists, the XM2 8K exists, anything from G-Wolves exists. They have some of the best performing mice that have for a very long time. There's a lot of great performing mice all under $150, and they're pricing themselves above that. So that means they either have to be substantially better, which no one's gonna feel the difference if it is that much better, or it's gonna be built incredibly well. And knowing Logitech, they don't have the best build quality. So it makes it really difficult to recommend it when it does come out, especially over some of its Chinese competitors, which will have similar build quality decent performance. It's not going to be Logitech performance because Logitech has pretty much nailed performance. They're pretty good on most things. Or if you just really want to support a Logitech product, then you can buy it. But that's all my takes on it. I think it's a silly price, but I am a big fan of the product, and I do hope that within time you can get them cheaper, because 170 is very steep for a lot of people. And again, it just prices a large chunk of gamers out of that market entirely. But let me know what your thoughts are on the G Pro Superlight 2C, because I think it's cool, but I want to know what you guys think. And leave a like on this video if you did enjoy. It does help boost it in the algorithm to help people find this new style of content. I am trying to, you know, do something else besides reviews. Reviewing's boring now. Okay. And make sure you go follow my Twitter over at Stubby FPS. That's where I post all my great takes and only great takes. And go follow my Twitter at StubbyFPS_. That's where I post all my photography on the stuff I actually use my big fancy lenses for, because. But subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.